All right, so we should be live, and I'm hoping that camera and volume and everything is working. Let me know. We had a tough time yesterday, so welcome to our Tuesday edition of our Q&A. This is a chance for you to ask the questions and for us to answer them. So thank you for joining us today. As always, please go ahead and put your questions in the chat, and between Anna and I, we'll be taking care of you. If you would like to talk to a recruiter directly while we're here, then you can call us at 888-668-0698 and reach us right there online. Hey, Risky Red, Howard, how are you doing? Yes, I am. Howard, good deal to have you. Frog, good to see you there, Wally. Good deal. Yep, put your zip code in there. We'll be answering, for those of you who are wondering what we have available out of your area, just put your zip code into the chat and we'll answer. We'll give you details. We've got deets, right? Doing good. Good deal. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to dive into our Luma training and get educated on that just a little bit. Luma, I know that some of our current drivers are already very familiar with it. Well, I don't know about very, but familiar with it. The Luma training Luma is a new app that we've been working with to do our quarterly trainings, so our safety trainings. We're also using it for our onboarding experience. So we're going to start using it for orientation and to kind of help move the orientation along, still providing you all of the information that you need during orientation to keep you well educated on what Decker is all about and our company policies and procedures again. So we'll be using Luma for that. Hey, Tim, able to join us today? That's awesome. And so we'll be talking a little bit about Luma and what it will be for orientation and what the orientation process is. So it will be looking a little bit different, obviously, than what orientation is now, but it'll still give you the overall information that you would have gotten had you come in for orientation for the full week like we have been. So orientation currently is 1 week. It starts on Mondays and it goes through Friday, usually dispatched out on Friday. And it does pay $1,000 for orientation. We do split that up, so you get $500 on your first dispatch, and we get $500 direct deposited that following week. So you do have money, when you get dispatched out, you have money in hand, which is nice, because you're probably going to need that. And we'll get you to work, get you making some money. So, yeah. Anna says, did you know Luma has been named the winner of the 2020 Gold Stevie Award, the company of the year? No way, I didn't know that. Oh, and consumer products category is the 17th annual Stevie Awards for Women in Business. Interesting. I didn't know that. But what Luma is, and I'm kind of hesitant to show you because yesterday once I did, we lost everything. So with Luma, when you log in, you'll be able to get pretty much any of the trainings, the trainings that are assigned to you. So really what happens is if you are just coming to orientation, then we're going to give you that information as you progress. So we'll give you this safety information. We'll give you the company policies and procedures as you go through it. And they're usually a series of videos, short little video clips. We call them e-nuggets with the Luma series. They're little e-nuggets. And you'll receive those, you'll watch those, and then at the end, you'll have a little quiz or an assessment is what it's called. So that's how the learning format looks. Now with our current drivers who are using the Luma or have used it for the quarterly safety bonus or quarterly safety training, then what you've done is you've probably used your phone, which is a little harder to see on your phone. Not a little, it's harder to see on your phone. It's flat out harder. But you'll have the tablets in the truck, so the GeoTab tablets that are in the truck, they will have it on there. It'll be just an option there. You'll click on it and it'll open it right up. So it'll be way easier to go to it, where before when you were using your phone, you had to go put it in the browser. And you all know, unless your phone is this size, dealing with your phone and putting that information in it's hard. You're kind of squinting and getting it in there. So yeah, it'll be way easier to use on the tablet. If you're using it on the phone, it's pretty user friendly in general because it's just flat out go, click here, watch the videos, take the assessment. It's all just kind of in order. But it's harder to see on your phone. So that's why I think it'll be way easier on the tablet. Plus, if you're coming into the terminal, you'll be able to take it in one of the computers or something as well. Tim says, don't get the hammer ready. I don't. Yeah, I had to take the hammer, proverbial hammer, to the machine yesterday. So not doing it today. If we don't have to. We don't want that to happen. So anyways, that's Luma. Luma sign in for our current drivers here. You're gonna have your email. We'll get you set up basically, but your sign in is going to be your driver code, and then your password will be the last four of your social. So that's usually how it works for the Luma. Again, it's replacing the Infinity training that we used previously for our quarterly safety bonuses, or I keep saying that, our quarterly safety trainings. So it's replacing that, and they're just little bite-sized trainings in there. What's nice is it'll be in, it's not yet on the TransFlow app on your phone, but it will be. It will be updated in there, but it is on the GeoTab units. So if you already have the GeoTab unit, you're already seeing it right there for the login. So you just, once you get to the login, it'll set you all up. And then we do have an email that went out, I'm trying to think, it went out back in August. I want to say it was back in August. Sound about right, Anna? When we first started using that Luma. But we'll send out another email to all of you so that you've got just a reminder of how to access it if need be. And you won't need to access it all the time. During the quarterly trainings, you'll need it. And then if you're having some updates in hazmat training, we'll have that. Maybe some flatbed or safety training, winter weather training. There's videos on chains and a section on that, which could be very helpful. By the way, our policy on chains is you need to know how to chain. Whether you're chaining or not, it's really going to be more based off of you. Like, you're the professional. We're going to trust you on this. If you feel that you're chaining to get out of trouble and to get yourself into a safe place, then do it. But don't just put chains on to start going down the road another 30 miles. It's not what they're made for. They're to get you out of trouble, not put you into it. So just be safe there. Yep, enter your username and password, easy peasy, and it'll get you in there. They are, both the username and the password are case sensitive. So keep that in mind, especially when you're talking about the username. Not everybody is aware of that is case sensitive. Thanks, Anna. Yep, so now with the Luma training in regards to orientation, we are hoping to roll that out for a early December beginning. We've tested it a few times, but I don't have the exact date because we are still testing it to make sure that it's going to run smoothly and that those who are going through the training, they'll still be able to get their questions answered and everything addressed. Now, that doesn't include all of orientation because we still have both your PCE and your physical. You'll have both the hair follicle and the urinalysis for the drug and alcohol testing. You'll have your driving test, and then those are all things that will be in-house in Fort Dodge for the orientation, along with an overview of what you've went through with the Luma. So we'll have a review of the Luma training. It's just you'll have more time to soak it in and understand those policies, those procedures, and because we do things a little bit different than other companies, and I think I'm proud of the way we do that, and I like the way that we take the extra time to give you that information so that you're not going out there blind. But at the same time, we know that it can be a longer orientation and that can be exhausting for those. We want you to have that information, though. We think it's important that you have it, and that's why we're providing it through Luma and trying to kind of streamline it for you, make it a lot easier. So, Anna says, Luma believes that when people learn, I lost it. Yeah, when people learn, their lives improve, and so does society. Everything they do is created with a mission in mind. Yes, so they've definitely taken their time. I did not know about that Stevie Award. That's pretty cool. But they've definitely taken their time. The format's super easy. The only difficulty or only complaints that I've heard, and Tim, I think you were one of them that had mentioned this, the only complaints that I've heard is that on the phone, it's hard to do because it's small. But we're alleviating that by putting it on the tablets, so it'll be a lot easier. Plus, if you access it through a computer, that's easy too. But I think the getting around it is going to be a lot easier for you. So with orientation, again, we'll be rolling that out about the beginning of December, which is coming up on us pretty darn quick. Thanksgiving next week already. But we'll be rolling that out so that we can kind of streamline these orientations, especially coming up into the Christmas time frame and all that good stuff. So you're still going to make that $1,000 a week for orientation for those of you who are going through that onboarding. That'll still maintain, even though the orientation itself will be a little bit shorter. And we expect it to be maybe a day shorter or so, day and a half possibly, once all is said and done. But again, doing the drug tests and the physicals and the PCs and all of that's going to take a little bit of time in-house. So any questions on that? Distractive driving training, hazmat training, those are all things that you'll see through the Luma app. Cool. All right, so that's what we'll be talking about a little bit more in depth as it comes out and starts affecting you a little bit more. You'll be more hands-on on it. So we'll be doing that. And again, it's replacing the Infinity. It's going to be on your GeoTab units in the truck. It'll eventually be on the TransFlow app on your phone, but it's not yet. So we're working on that. Also want to do a quick reminder for your pre and post trips. You guys are doing well with the pre-trips. It sounds like you're catching some issues, however, from those who should have been doing some post-trips. I did see on our Facebook group, by the way, if you're not part of the Facebook group, you can go to Truck Driver Support or even the Decker Truckline Drivers. There's 2 groups out there that you can hop on. But if you aren't already doing a proper post-trip, you need to be doing that. Because that's going to save your fellow driver time when they're picking up that trailer that you're dropping off. And it's also going to save you in the long run, because eventually it's going to come back around. So please make sure that you're doing the proper post-trip, and that goes for everybody so that you're not putting somebody else in a bind and cutting into their hours and causing issues where you could be making that phone call. It can be taken care of in the meantime while you're going to pick up another trailer and they're picking up this trailer. So please go ahead and do that. All right. Also want to give you a heads up. Some of you guys are already seeing this. I think, who did I talk to yesterday? I think Derek mentioned that he's seen it. Frozen already. Dang. But they're already seeing the new update with the GeoTab systems. We've got more integrations that will be happening, and you'll continue to see those. But the new installment, which really you shouldn't have to do anything. You don't need to take any action, but you'll notice that the PrePass Motion app is on your tablets. It'll be in conjunction with the GeoTab, the TransFlow unit too. So basically this service, it works with the GeoTab and the PrePass transponder in the truck, and it will notify you on your tablet screen of way stations and hazards on your route with no interaction required from you. So you don't have to do anything. When you pass it, you don't have to approve it. You don't have to clear it off. It'll eventually just clear itself off once you move far enough from it. So I think you'll receive a notification at 2 miles and then one at 1 mile, and then once you bypass it, it'll remove that notification. So if you're approaching a way station, you'll be prompted with the on-screen to do one of the following. You'll either bypass it, you'll pull in, you'll follow the transponder, if the way stations, if they're not transponder compatible, or you'll follow the road signs if they're not RFID compatible. And you'll also receive notifications when you're approaching the geofence hazards. So geofence hazards are like Wyoming and the high wind area. So high wind, steep grades, you think of Colorado and Northern California and Oregon, Washington, Montana, Idaho, those are the steep grades. No commercial vehicle areas or brake check chain up areas, work zone, runaway truck ramps. Those are all part of the geofenced hazards, and you'll be notified of those as well. So there are several states who have partnered with the pre-pass, so not all of them have, but several have partnered with them to do these push notifications for major traffic issues, such as, that's going to include accidents and construction delays as well. So again, making it way easier to communicate with you and give you that up-to-date information. I know we've got the CB units in the truck, and I highly suggest that you use them for your safety and for convenience going down the road, just giving other people a heads up that things are coming about. If you're seeing high winds, or if you're seeing an accident or coming up on an accident or something like that, then yes, you'll need to, or I suggest at least you use your CB unit. But these notifications through the Motion app should help you significantly. So I'll give you a heads up on that. Tim says, drivers need to pay attention to their mirrors. I can see a drive box driver of ours running down 20 would be lower pressure light on the trailer, but did not have a CB unit on. See, there again, have your CB unit on, because others will be able to communicate with you when you have it on, and it's to provide safety for you. I know sometimes people can get a little lengthy in it, and you can turn it down so that it's not as a distraction, but it can definitely help you and be a safety measure. So for the next day or so, I think between yesterday and today, a lot of you were seeing, actually Friday and today, I think a lot of you were seeing those updates with the GeoTab. So anybody who has the GeoTab now should pretty much have that Motion app. It should have been updated for the most part. I think maybe you have a couple hours left. But again, you'll receive an on-screen prompt. It'll be and then asking you permission to open the Motion. But other than that, you won't have to do any additional anything to run that thing. It'll be super easy for you. It'll remove itself as you pass by. So yeah, easy peasy. Cool. All right. Hey, William Bird is here. My personal GPS does all that with the way stations and the constructions ahead, even accidents. Which one do you have, William? Which one do you have? And have you noticed, are you with the GeoTab yet, or are you still on Omnitrax? For those of you who don't know, we're in the midst of switching from the Omnitrax system to the GeoTab system. If you didn't already know that. Robert says, do you hire with no experience? No, currently we do require 9 months of tractor trailer experience. If you're looking to get onto the flatbed division, it must be 9 months of flatbed experience. And thanks for your question, Robert. All right, so I definitely want to take a minute, and I apologize for not taking the time yesterday during our live. Pretty chaotic yesterday, between the cameras going in and out and not working at all, or the auto not working at all. We had some issues. So I want to take a minute to recognize these two people. Yes, I know it's Hero of the Week, and I've got two people on this picture here. But both James Stolberg and Troy Abbott, and this is a couple months back, but I do want to make sure that we give kudos where kudos is most definitely earned. Both of them, on the same day, actually, had encountered just major obstacles, and their reaction was perfect. Had they not reacted the way they did, it could have caused some major issues. It could have caused accidents. People could have died because of it. I'm very impressed with it, and Patrice wanted to take a minute and just thank them. So I would like to read what Patrice had sent over to me. It says, from time to time, amid all the chaos and unprofessionalism seen on the road, we spot some outstanding professional drivers who care about their safety and the safety of the motoring public, even in the face of criticism and ungratefulness targeted at truck drivers in general. These drivers are unsung heroes, and often finding superior driving skills to avoid accidents and save lives. Both of these drivers are heroes in my book. I'd like to recognize their ability, their focus, awareness, and decision-making skill to allow them and others to get back to their loved ones at the end of the day, unharmed. Thank you, James and Troy, for your unselfish dedication to safety. Again, we're recognizing these two for our Hero of the Week. If you're not familiar with our Hero of the Week, is you can nominate someone for Hero of the Week. Just either send me a Facebook message, facebook.com/DTL Inc., or email me at jbutler@deckermail.com, or even marketing@deckermail.com, and then we can put them in for a submission or a nomination for a Hero of the Week. But Hero of the Week can be a driver, it can be somebody in-house, it could be even someone not with Decker, but that you feel needs to be recognized for going over and beyond for somebody, for others, giving the grace, something that you're thankful for. And these two, if you would have seen what they saw, I don't know if everybody would have been able to react the way that they did, and they definitely saved lives with the way that they did. So please take a minute to congratulate them if you see them. Again, it's James Stolberg, and again, if you see him, please take the time to recognize it. So we've got Troy Abbott and James Stolberg here for our Hero of the Week. Tim says, I get truck or trailer number. Yeah, if you didn't get the truck or trailer number. Okay, I got that. Yeah, let us know if ever. All right, so Eddie has put in his zip code. Let me check that out for you. I've got 85373. Hey Eddie, thanks for joining us, by the way. 85373, there we go. I think we've got some over-the-road refrigerated. Yes, we do. So we've got the over-the-road refrigerated there. Anna, I didn't see your message. Sorry about that. The over-the-road refrigerated would get you home about every 2 to 3 weeks. You're running coast to coast. Most of it's going to be in the west. So really most of it's going to be west of the Mississippi. A lot of the Northwest, a lot of the Midwest, and again about 2 to 3 weeks out. We do have a guaranteed of $1,000 each week, so $1,000 gross every week for the guaranteed, but your pay per mile will be a reflection of your experience. So the more experience you have, obviously the more pay per mile you get, which means that $1,000, to exceed that $1,000 is going to be easier the more experience you have. We pay anywhere up from 43 to 48 cents a mile in that division. 10 cents of that's per diem. Plus we have monthly bonuses, which are both, we have both the, sorry, take that down there. Both the scorecard bonus and the smart drive bonus. The scorecard bonus is a number of factors. It's going to be your fuel efficiency, your idle time, the miles that you get. Again, this is going to be on a monthly basis, not a weekly basis. But I gotta say that the $1,000 quarterly does have some similar qualifications. $1,000 a week, does have some similar qualifications. So again, for the scorecard bonus, it's idle time, fuel efficiency, miles, on-time delivery, so driver service failures, claims, preventable accidents, and CSA violations. Those are all things that go into account when it comes to your scorecard. A scorecard of 1,000 points gets a full 4 cents a mile for the bonus on all the miles that you ran that week, or that month. And then for the smart drive bonus, that works out to be an extra penny per mile on all the miles you ran that week. You need to have a score of 20 or less to get that. So 20 or less for your smart drive. And you can access your scores, both your smart drive score and your scorecard, on your GeoTab unit or your TransFlow app on your phone. Either one. Yep. Eddie says, always educational and entertaining. Good. Thank you. Tim says, get your Acme hammer out. It's giving you, oh, I know. I don't know. Thank you, basically Phoenix. Yes. Yep. So about every 2 to 3 weeks for you. Tim, don't jinx me. This darn camera. Something's up with it. Doesn't like it. Alright, I think that was the updates that I wanted to give you. So, the scorecard bonus. Should we try it? I really want to show you the scorecard bonus, but I'm afraid that it will not be my friend. Because that's what it does to me sometimes. Okay, so let's get the scorecard for you. The scorecard bonus, by the way, we paid out over $71,000 in our scorecard bonus for this last month. So that's for the month of October. Those are the October numbers. Please let us break 80,000. I just really want to see it. I'm sure we can do it. I know we can do it. We gotta do it. Yes, so we want to see 80,000. Here is, let me see if I can make this a little bit easier for you guys to read or see, one or the other. There we go. There you go. Now you can see those perfect scores. Hey, you guys, I want to mention too, with the perfect scores, I noticed a couple comments on our YouTube videos. The perfect scores do tend to be some of the same people each and every week or each and every month. That doesn't surprise me because they've got the handle on it. They know what it takes to get those 1,000 points, and they're consistent at it. They know what it takes to keep the idle down. They know what it takes to have on-time delivery. They take the time to schedule their loads. And that's what gets them more miles, is because they get the load there, they get it there on time, they get themselves prepped to do the next load. And so that's why they're able to get the miles as well. And they're safe drivers, and they're violation-free drivers. So that is one terrible picture. So yeah, it's not that it only goes to those guys, but they have a good handle on what it takes. So if you have questions, and if you also want to better your score, I highly suggest that you reach out to either Jason Sorleen or even Darren Ladley, and the two of them can explain to you what it is that you're lacking or what you're running into that's not getting you the top score each and every time. We want to see you guys do well. We want to see you do fantastic. We want to pay out 80,000 plus a month. The better you do, the better we do, you know? So let's see it. All right, so that being said, let's look at this. Yep, I know. Got to get that thing back on. All right, so for our perfect scores for this last month, we have Stephen Allagher, Robert Anderson, Jeffrey Ayers, Martin Blanker, Benedict Boston, Anthony Clayton, Art Club, Troy Zeck, Lydia Dietrich, Benjamin Ebby, Antonio Fernandez, Charles Gann, Damian Guthrie, Todd Hawkins, Chad Hazelton, Cynthia and Todd Hopes, Mark Kogel, Keith Langford, Dale Lehman, Shane Lunn, Nicola McClendon, Brett McCrae, Thomas Melton, Lisa Ormont, Todd Overson, Jerry Patterson, Derek Potter, Aaron Sievertson, Robert Skiles, Alan Smith, Dean Sosek, Anthony Vasquez, Timothy Whitesell, Demetrius Anthony, Jerry Arthur, Charles Baker, Diedrich Baxter, Jamie Beam, Daniel Douglas, Kowalski Dukes, Dan Graves, Lee Hartsbergen, John Hodges, Lesburn Lewis, Brian Mackos, Jimmy Mahoen, Lester Malone, Michael Mertz, Nelson Galdemes, Timothy Olden, Felix Santiago, Raven Price, William Statz, Sean Swallows, Glendrick Thompson, and Charles Wobel. Now again, those are just the individuals who received the perfect score of 1,000 points. That's a full 4 cents a mile on that. Odds are those who received it also got the penny per mile raise as well, or the penny per mile smart drive bonus as well, right? I'm guessing. Tim, did you get it? All right, so again, for those, we paid out over $71,000, $71,693.05 paid out to those drivers. I gotta say, it does look like a longer list than it was last month, which is nice to see. 182 company drivers and an average of about $243 per driver. So $44,000 in the scorecard bonus for the company drivers, $11,000 for our owner-operators lease purchase drivers, which is averages to about $282. So a little bit more for our owner-operators lease purchase. The scorecard bonus, it's 3 cents a mile for the owner-operators and lease purchase. Yep, and then 4 cents a mile bonus for the company drivers. The Smart Drive bonus, which again, it's 20 points or less on your Smart Drive, will get you an extra penny per mile. And that was paid out to 183 drivers. So one more driver made it for the Smart Drive than did for the scorecard on the company side, which averaged to be about an $86 bonus for the company drivers. An average of $96 bonus for our owner-operators, and there were 6 owner-operators that received the Smart Drive. To have the Smart Drive for our owner-operators, you do have to have Smart Drive activated, so that'll make a difference as well. I imagine so. Congrats. Howard says, it's really hard to get a perfect score. I have been trying for over a year and I can't figure out where I'm doing wrong. I'm on time all the time. Have you, and maybe you have already, but have you spoke to Jason and Darren? Because they'll be able to dig in hopefully a little bit deeper to see what it is that you're running into. Is it miles that you're not getting? Is it on-time delivery? You just said that you're on time all the time, so it shouldn't be that. But let's dig into it to find out why you're not getting it. I'd love to see that, because I'd love to see you get it. I want to see over 80,000, you guys. It's way more fun. The bigger the number, the more fun it is to announce. So, Howard, yeah, I'm going to make myself a note here and see if I can do some checking in on that for you. Otherwise, give Jason or Darren a call on that. Also, on the bonus programs, if you missed, we've got some previous lives that go through and break down all of that. But we also have our podcast from, the 2 of them actually. It was both Jason and Darren, because Darren's the host of our podcast, and Jason, of course, was the interview or the guest speaker for the podcast. Let me see if I've got that episode handy for you, because I think that'll be important for you guys to listen to. Let's see. Where is it at? Jason Sorlene. There we go. Yep, here you are. So this was back in August. Hey, Aim. Amy's here. There you go. That is the podcast from back in August. But if you click on that, Jason and Darren will kind of go through a little bit deeper the scorecard. And we've gone through it a few times on our lives where we dedicate the live event, the Q&As to that. So there you have it. Frog says, holidays are here. Want to wish you a happy holiday. Hey, Wally, I don't know if you saw or heard my response yesterday, but Wally had asked me a couple of different times about the holiday pay and what it was and if we were going to get it. And it took me a little bit to get that answer. So I did get it for you. And yes, there will be, if you are on, I'm trying to think here, if you are out on the road during Christmas, New Year's, and Thanksgiving, you're going to get an extra $100 for each day. So if you're out for Thanksgiving, you're out under a load, then you're going to get $100 for Thanksgiving. If you're out on the load for Christmas, you'll get $100 for Christmas. If you're out on a load for New Year's, you're going to get an extra $100. So that'll be on top of your normal pay. So up, over, and beyond. Also a reminder with the holidays and with people getting together, COVID is still in full swing. There are cases being announced nonstop. Please don't forget to take the precautionary measures. Wearing the mask is required at the Decker terminal now for safety to prevent the spread of COVID and any other viruses out there. Washing your hands and making sure that when you're going to the shipper or receiver, you're following the instructions that have been given to you there as well. If you need a mask, please contact staff at Extension 2000 or even at I'm pretty sure that the Welcome Center in Fort Dodge still has them as well in any of the terminals. So Amy says, just done with the injections, now snagging some lunch. Oh, shoulder, working on that shoulder. Anything for holidays. So, yep, that's Howard, there you go. So, an extra, or Wally, there you go, an extra 1,000 or an extra $100 per day. Tim says, I don't have smart driving on my truck. So, you must not have gotten the smart drive bonus then. Right? Right. Well, you couldn't have. You don't have it. Yep, there you go. Amy's answering for me. There you go. $100 for each of those days that you're working. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your fleet manager. Better not give extensions because otherwise I'll bombard everybody with extensions. If you have any questions on the smart drive or the scorecard, though, get a hold of Jason or Darren. Darren's 2448 and Jason is 4550. There we go. I have to type it in order to remember it. I think that's right. Perfect. All right. Let's talk about some of the different positions that we've got going on here right now. For our Midwest flatbed, we've got some Midwest flatbed that'll get you home on a daily basis if you live around the Chicago area. I've got Midwest flatbed that'll get you home on a weekly basis if you expand that area and you're looking at Fort Dodge to Chicago, up to Milwaukee, back down to, say, the Mason City area in Iowa. So anywhere along that route, or Iowa City to St. Louis, over to Columbus, Ohio, up north to Toledo, back west towards Chicago, and then down to the Iowa City area. Everything in there, in that Iowa, Illinois, Indiana areas that are covered, that is also, and Ohio, that is also home weekly and a guarantee of $14.50 a week. So that's for my Midwest flatbed. You do need to have a minimum of 9 months of flatbed tractor trailer experience to qualify for that. Again, any questions at all regarding just any questions regarding at all for recruiting, you can give us a call at 888-668-0698. Howard says, how healthy is our company in regards to COVID-19? I don't know that answer. I don't know I know that there has been some cases with some drivers and some in-house, but I don't know overall what it is. So that's a good question. We are taking as many precautionary measures as possible to prevent it. I know that there's a lot of people working remote to help prevent it. Obviously, if there's any trace at all, they're contact tracing or whatever, they've removed themselves from terminals and stuff to prevent that at all. But Brian says, start orientation November 30th. Woohoo! It's coming right after Thanksgiving, huh? Good, Brian. So speaking of orientation, I'm not sure if it'll be Luma training will be on the 30th yet, but it'll be around the 1st of December. Pretty darn close, so that's where we'll focus on doing more of the online orientation, which is what we talked about just a little bit earlier, doing more of the online orientation to kind of cut that down a little bit for time-wise. You're still doing both the hair follicle and the urinalysis, the PCE, the physical, and the driving test in Fort Dodge during the orientation, and then kind of a review of some of those policies, procedures, so that we're all on the same page when you get dispatched out. You get $1,000, $500 on first dispatch, and then the rest is direct deposited. But the first dispatch we hand to you on a comm check, so you have cash, basically cash in hand. So yeah, Brian, awesome. Good news. What division are you coming in on? We have the Midwest flatbed, like I said. We've got definitely additional opportunities. We have short haul positions too for the Midwest flatbed. So if you live in Omaha or the Fort Dodge area, we can get you home multiple times throughout the week, as well as home on the weekends. So that one pays $1,000. It's a guarantee of $1,000 a week. And the $1,000 is more solid. The pay per mile in most of our $1,000 a week minimum pays or our guarantees that pay $1,000 a week. Most of those you're better off with the pay per mile because you're making more, and so you're going to get the better of the two. So no matter what, if your miles and the pay per mile, once we compare them, if your miles pay is better than that $1,000 a week, which is guaranteed, then you're going to get the better of the two. But I do want to remind you that with the guaranteed pay, there are qualifications, of course, makes sense, but you need to be sure that you get your paperwork in on time. We have the onboard scanners in the trucks. We've got the GeoTab units, which will have the scanner on them. You have the TransFlow app on your phone, which will also, if you have a smartphone, then you can also use that TransFlow app to scan your documents. And then those who have the Omnitrax currently, we have the scanners in the truck for that as well. But that way we can get you get the paperwork in on time, which is by Sunday night. As long as you get it in before Sunday night, which is the cutoff, that's the first qualification for that guaranteed pay. Easy peasy, I know, but it's got to be done. Making sure that you're there on time. So no driver service failures. The load must be there on time. Be available for dispatch at least 5 days out of the week. And now, that being said, there was a question about being available for dispatch. If you're having, if your truck is in the shop or whatever, that is not you not being available for dispatch. That is your truck not being available, basically. So that doesn't count against you. So if you're not available for dispatch because your truck is in the shop or for something that's out of your control, then you're still going to qualify under that basis, okay? Just making sure. Don't turn down any loads, so no load refusals. And again, with your truck being in the shop, that's not going to count against you. That's not a load refusal. And then clean CSA, so no violations for that week and no preventable accidents for that week. So that being said, say week 1, you had us write up a violation for on your CSA during an inspection. Okay, so that's going to be counted against you for week 1, but it has nothing to do with your second, third, or whatever week. It's week by week. So the cutoff is Sunday night. So just know that, and then you'll be golden. But as long as you meet those qualifications for the guaranteed pay, you have at least $1,000 gross per week. And depending on the division, our Midwest refrigerated, it's $1,250 a week for the guaranteed pay, and that's going to run from Minneapolis area, really along I-90 from Albert Lea to Chicago, or I-80 from Omaha to Chicago for our Midwest refrigerated guarantee of $1,250 a week. That's home on the weekends, as well as, so it's home weekly as well as the $1,250 a week. And remember, these amounts that I'm giving you, they are gross, the gross amount. So you still have taxes that are taken out. And we have full benefits, so you can take advantage of the benefits, 30% match on the 401k and all that good stuff too. So we have a sign-on bonus, which we're calling our quarterly accelerator bonus, which can be an extra $5,000. Again, qualifications, very similar to the $1,000 a week, except it's a 70% consistency on it instead of 100% since it's over a quarter and not week by week. You're welcome, Frog, you betcha. Brian says, talked with Bryce about the Midwest flatbed division with me. Awesome. Michael says, is a pay raise coming to Decker in the near future? I am not aware of one. We're constantly evaluating the pays, like our pay compared to other companies. So that's something that's always out there. And then the rates also have a major factor on that. With COVID, my personal take is that with COVID having effects on quite a bit of things right now, I think a pay raise could be I'm premature at that point. But I could be very wrong. So I don't think I have a good answer for you, Michael, on that one because I just don't know. I can tell you that they're always being evaluated, though. It's not something that we only look at come the beginning of the year or come, fiscal time. It's a constantly looking at those numbers. Good question. But we do have the additional bonuses as well. And there is a penny raise after 90 days, penny raise every year on your anniversary as well until you hit the cap. Caps, by the way, 55 cents a mile for the refrigerated over-the-road or the Midwest refrigerated, 52 for the over-the-road refrigerated, and flatbed is 54 cents a mile for the cap. Risky Red says, Howard says, Transflow app is the best. Yes, that's what I love to hear. Good. Good. All right. Okay, cool. I think I hit on all of those. I just want to make sure that answering that. Yeah, if you have any other questions about the bonuses or about the guaranteed pays and how they pay out, just give me a holler, 888-668-0698. Ask the questions in here so I know what kind of questions you have to answer. Brian says, weekend home time is certain, of course, unless breakdowns happen. Yeah, so it depends on where you live, but in the Midwest flatbed, pretty much any of the Midwest flatbed is looking at that, unless he had to get your area checked because it was kind of a borderline area for the hiring. Then, yeah, for Midwest flatbed, you're pretty much coming in on coming in on like a Friday night, Saturday morning, and then leaving back out either Sunday night or Monday morning. So it's like a 34-hour, maybe up to 48 for home time each week, but it's usually coming on a Friday night or Saturday. And again, that's flatbed. When it comes to refrigerated, there's a little bit more leniency on that. I know with the Midwest refrigerated, the guaranteed pay of $12.50, Zach does most of those. He's the fleet manager for most of those, and he's told me over and over again that coming in on a Friday night or a Saturday morning, same type of scenario, same kind of time frame, and then leaving back out either Sunday night or Monday morning. It depends on what that Monday morning is looking like and how far you are from it, obviously, and how early that delivery is. Usually, if it's a first come, first serve, and it starts at 7 a.m., you want to be there at 7, or you want to be there before 7 to deliver right away. So usually when they're the first come, first serve, you want to get that off right away. Good question. Very good. Brian says, Davenport, Iowa, and also, do we get to take a tractor home? Yes, you do get to take the tractor home with you. And Davenport, yes, you're going to be looking at the weekly home time for sure. I mean, coming in on the Friday night or Saturday, and you shouldn't have any issues with that. That being said, I mean, there could, like you said, weather or breakdown could have a factor in it. But even with weather, I think right there in Davenport, you're in a prime area for us. I mean, that's a major running lane. So I don't see any issues with that. But yes, bringing the tractor home with you on your home time. So when you come into orientation, Brian, I don't know if Bryce had gotten to this point with the discussion for you or not, but usually we'll get you a rental car, or for some people, if they're coming in from Alabama or somewhere, then we'll be getting you either a rental car or a flight. But in your case, we'll probably get you a rental car. We'll take care of your hotel and your meals while you're here. And then, of course, like I said, the $1,000 for orientation. We'll pay for the gas as well for the rental. Now, we do have a repayment program or a repayment plan that we have you review and sign in orientation. But all that's really saying is that, yes, this is the investment that Decker has made into us to get us to orientation, or to get me to orientation. And it cost me this much. If I was to leave within the first 6 months, I could be responsible for a portion of it. So every month we knock $100 off, and then come 6 months, no matter if there's still $1,400 on that expense or not, then no matter what it is, we wash it clean. Highly doubt it would be that much, but that's what that repayment agreement is. And just so you're aware of it, that is there. But we plan to take very good care of you, and you don't have to worry about it. Risky Red says, yes, I take my tractor home all the time. My experience was I left my new tractor in Fort Dodge, and it was gone when I returned. Take it with you. Yeah, and that could have just been, I don't know why that was, to be honest with you. But why not take it home? We are hiring based off of where you live, and that we can get you home with, with the expectation of us getting you home for home time, based off of where you live. That was a little repetitive, but yes, take the truck home with you on your home time. Otherwise, it's cutting into your home time, and we don't want to do that. Now, there are exceptions, though. I gotta say, if you live up in Montana, we do want you to leave the tractor and trailer in Missoula on your home time. If you live in Great Falls, or if you live in Kalispell or Shelby or whatever, which could be a lot of driving for you on your home time, but most of our Montana drivers, they are coming. Montana's a big state. We're used to this, but you're coming from a distance, and you will probably be out 2, 3. Some people are even out 4 weeks at a time. That's more based off of your preference, but 2 to 3 weeks is normal. And then what you take for home time, we figure for every 7 days you're out, it's a day and a half home time. So that's pretty good balance of home time. And we've got that $1,000 guarantee, the weekly guarantee that's available to you as well. Sorry, I got distracted. There's stuff going on out my window. Terrible. Easily distracted. But yes, you're good to take it home. Missoula, like the Missoula, Montana area is really the only exception. It's just because, like I used Great Falls as an example. Great Falls is a little bit harder. There are some loads there, but it's going up I-15 instead of going along I-90, where most of our loads in Montana area are along I-90. And so it's taking you completely 2-3 hours off of I-90, and that's just too much deadhead in a truck. So cool. All right, very good question. So thank you, Brian. Midwest van, we also have Midwest van positions. That's more from Lincoln, Nebraska along I-80 to Gary, Indiana. Plus, if you live in Augusta, Georgia, or Athens, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, Anderson, South Carolina, those are all areas that we do have Midwest van. So that's dry van. It can get you home about every 2 to 3 weeks if you live in the Southeast, but it gets you home on a weekly basis if you live along I-90 or I-80, from Lincoln to Gary, Indiana. If you have questions on that, definitely give us a call, 888-668-0698. You can call us on that number there. Also, if you're looking to apply, then go ahead and hop online, drivedecker.com, fill out your application, and if you've been talking to a driver, so if you're a referral, please make sure that you give us the driver's name. Want to give credit where credit is due, and we do have a referral bonus. That's a minimum of $1,500 for paid out within 90 days for each hire. And then the more hires you have, the more pay you get per referral. So keep that in mind. And yes, please let us know who it is that you spoke to. Cool. Brian says, now what about the trailers? Guessing I would have to drop the trailer before I headed home and then heading back towards Fort Dodge. No. No, actually what you would be doing is you'd be bringing the trailer home with you. So if you live in an area that you cannot bring the trailer home, then we leave it basically up to you to find a secured spot to park it and secure it on your home time. Good question, but yes, we leave that part up to you. Most of the time, if you're on flatbed, there's a very good chance, actually flatbed or refrigerated for that matter, but it's very likely that you'll have a load. If you're coming in on the Friday night or Saturday morning, it's very likely that you'll have a load that needs to be delivered first thing Monday morning. So you will have the trailer with you on your home time. Just secure it, and then that way when you're calculating what time you're leaving for off of home time for the Monday delivery, you're calculating it based off of where you live and coming from home instead of having to go about and pick up the trailer. I mean, that's that much more work for you. So bring the truck home with you. Find a close place. As long as you've got it okayed with them, then yes. I think it's different some of them don't allow you to, and then some of them do, and it just depends. He's asking about parking, but we leave that up to you. Brian says, I've been working locally. I know nothing about the OTR life. Well, you will find it out. And hopefully enjoy it. Yeah. So, very good questions. All right, so we've got the Midwest refrigerated, Midwest flatbed. We have the Midwest van as well. Remember, with our positions, you either have the guaranteed pay of specified, like I said, Midwest refrigerated. There are certain areas that pay $12.50 a week. Flatbed, $14.50 a week for the Midwest flatbed. We have a local position, the home daily position out of the Chicago area that pays $1,700 a week, and that is home daily. So obviously you're running a whole lot of Chicago and pretty much all of that. Our other divisions, we guarantee $1,000 a week, but again, the pay per mile in those other divisions usually outranks the $1,000, so that you're bringing home a little bit more. That's what we like to see. William says, will they ever change the policy to let us get our truck wash over a weekend? The free truck wash over the weekend. I didn't know that it wasn't an option over the weekend if you had it approved ahead of time. But that does make sense since you need to get the approval from Bruce. However, every time you guys are in the terminal, I just want to do a reminder of this. Every time that you guys are in the terminal, you can get your truck washed, whether you're in it daily or 2-3 times a week. There's no restrictions on the number you wash in at the terminals. On the road, however, we do limit to 1 wash per month, and that just depends on where. If the wash was at the terminal, then it was at the terminal. And obviously that's what we prefer because it's going to save the company a lot of money if you get it done at the terminal versus out on the road. But we do allow 1 truck wash a month out on the road. William says, will they ever change it? Yeah, that I don't know. I don't know, but I can definitely bring it up to him. I did talk to him about it 3 weeks ago. I think we discussed a little bit about it, and it didn't sound like it was a policy that was going to be changed, or at least the truck washing policy didn't change. I didn't specify over the weekend. Howard says, Brian, I take mine to the nearest Tyson plant or local truck stop. There you go. As long as you've got permission and they're allowing it, then secured lot. That's the most important. So, good. And Brian says, all right, I see ya. I'll probably follow suit. He knows what he's doing. Speaking of good looking trucks, I always see Howard's is always sharp looking. Howard, we tried to use yours and Corbin's picture that you guys sent in, that you went was it at Cedar Point? But it was such a beautiful picture. And just like so many of the pictures that I receive, I don't know if you guys take them on iPhones, because Justin was telling me all of his pictures, which were gorgeous, they weren't qualifying for a calendar, which by the way, this is our 2020 calendar. Our 2021 calendar should be coming out soon, but they weren't qualifying for the calendar because the size was too small, the pixel size. I don't know if that's an iPhone thing or what. The picture quality is beautiful, but the size is too small to print. So Howard, if you have the original for that picture, I know Corbin had one, but if you have the original for that picture, send it my way, and maybe the size is different. I don't know. It's gorgeous. We wanted to put it on the Facebook header. So William says, I mean over the road, not at the terminal. Yeah, sorry, I knew what you meant, but I don't know that answer because I haven't heard that it's going to be any different. Okay. All right. Flatbed. We have our over-the-road flatbed out of Bessemer, and that one is going to get you home on a weekly basis if you live in the North Carolina area, basically I-95 and west in North Carolina, and then in Alabama and Georgia north of 20. So if you live in those areas, that'll get you home on a weekly basis. Other than that, in areas for our over-the-road flatbed, you're looking at about 2 weeks out and getting home every other weekend. So every other weekend would be, Oklahoma, areas of Oklahoma, Texas, areas of Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, up into the PA area. Speaking of going back to the Mississippi though, Jackson, Mississippi to Memphis, Tennessee, over to Chattanooga, back to Atlanta, Georgia, and back over to Memphis. Everything in between there, or back over to Jackson, Mississippi, there you go. Everything in between there does qualify for a hiring area for our Southeast refrigerated. So if you are looking for refrigerated and looking for home weekly and live in the Southeast, give us a call. We can give you details on that. It does have a $1,000 guarantee as well. Otherwise, it pays anywhere from 43 to 50 cents a mile to start. And again, 888-668-0698. The number's right here if you can read it. There we go, right there. So yeah, or apply online, drivedecker.com. So there you go. Howard says, so which picture do I have in next year's calendar? It was one of your pictures, one of your individual pictures. I don't think it was. Hang on. Wait for it. Let me see if I can find it for you. I will try. Let me investigate. Was it? I think I announced those on what? The 2nd? I think. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna pull up some of these pictures, Howard, so you guys can all see them. And these were the ones that were tentative, and at last I heard that they all made it. Which was hard because last year all of our pictures we had to go through them a few times. Oop. Kind of made those a little big. Oh, that's what it was. It was in the caves. There we go. Oh, Tim, there's yours. Gorley's, Hazelton's. Yeah, some of these are looking pretty familiar to me. Cody Hager's was in there. Lehman. Oh, Felix, there you go, Howard. That's yours. Yep, in the caves. There you go. But those are the pictures that made it into the main part of the calendar. So that, sorry, changing the view. So these main areas. So we're hoping to figure out how to get more of the entries to qualify, because most of those entries that we received, they weren't qualifying because of size, and they were gorgeous, so pretty. So that was hard. Frog says, yes, I know. Somebody writing home. May I share? Yes. Yes, indeed. Oh, a reminder. Christmas gifts will be headed home to everybody. Please contact your fleet manager and make sure you have the right mailing address. Plus, you'll be getting W-2s at the beginning of the year, too. So we want to make sure that we have the correct mailing address, because we don't want to mail your Christmas gifts and them not get to you. So let us know. Get a hold of your fleet manager so that we can get the right information in there, and you'll be receiving those. Make it a lot easier for everybody, right? All right. Okay, and just a reminder with the bonuses and everything that was paid out, I want to see, this is my reminder and my goal, I want to see 80,000 before the end of the year. It means we have, 2 months technically, but November's almost over, so you better have been putting in the extra effort. If you guys have questions on how to improve it, please call Jason Sorleen or Darren Ladley, and that way we can try and help you out. I would love to see higher payouts. Yes, Anna says, check your mail. Share the correct mailing address with your fleet manager. Do it fast, though, because they're going to be coming out. They'll probably be coming out the first week of December. But we need to get those updated. Cool? Awesome. Now, it is time to remind you to either click the notification bell, subscribe, and then click the bell, or subscribe just in general. And make sure that you follow us so that when we do go live every Tuesday at noon, you'll be able to enjoy it. Ooh, Howard, thank you. You'll be able to hop on and join the conversation. So we go live every Tuesday at noon Central on our YouTube channel here. And Facebook, if you're not following us on Facebook, please do so. Facebook.com/DTL Inc. We will go ahead and also go live at 4 p.m. Central every Monday. We've got some new videos going out, so if you are talking to some of the drivers and you wanted to refer them, go ahead and refer them to the YouTube channel as well, and that'll answer a whole lot of their questions ahead of time. Otherwise, just send them over to us, 888-668-0698, and the recruiting department will take care of everything for you. Cool beans? Awesome. I will see you guys next Tuesday here on our YouTube channel. See you Monday for our live event. All right, you guys, have a great rest of your week. Please